Holy Hoka's Batman. Good morning, YouTube. What's up, everybody? I hope you're safe and healthy and happy and doing okay. Before we get into the shoe, I do want you to take a look above my shoulder. The rainbow balloon is gone. The rainbow balloon kind of went peacefully. It had been struggling for some time, and it was time for us to just put the rainbow balloon to rest. So maybe a new balloon will go there, a new rainbow balloon or some kind of something. I don't know, we'll see. But we had some good times with that rainbow balloon, and they will be missed. On today's menu, we have a shoe from a brand that I love. It's brand new. It's the Hoka Carbon X3. So as for the Carbon X3, we've seen a lot of different changes to the Carbon X from the very first model. That shoe did all right, but it kind of missed the mark for some people. And then they came out with the Carbon X2. Here it is. And I think for this model, they updated the upper, they changed the midsole a bit, and it just was an all-around better shoe. Well, here we have the Carbon X3, and as you can see, the upper is different, the midsole is different, and not really the outsole. We're gonna talk about those differences today and kind of what I'm feeling about this shoe so far, and any differences or similarities to the old one, the 2. But of course, before we do that, you have to watch the run footage. Let's go. Before we get started today, I do want to let you know that the Carbon X3 was sent to me by Hoka and Running Warehouse. However, neither company is going to see this before you. They can't tell me what to say, and all of my opinions are my own. The Hoka Carbon X3 is 6.6 ounces for a women's size 7, but for my size 10.5 women's, the shoe came in at around 8.5 ounces. It has a 5mm drop, different for men and women. For women, it's 30mm of stack in the heel and 25 in the forefoot. And for men, it's 32mm of stack in the heel and 27 in the forefoot. And for me, honestly, this is not true to size. I have quite a bit of room lengthwise in that toe box, which does contribute to some other issues that I have with this shoe. So we're gonna talk about those right now. The upper of the Carbon X3 is very different from the Carbon X2 and the Carbon X1 because it is a knit upper construction. It is very breathable. It's not exactly stretchy. It's a little bit more on the stiff side. If you go to the midfoot, you don't have anything in terms of overlays really. I guess the Hoka logo could act as one. And going to the back with the heel counter, it is very sturdy, and it also flares out similar to the Carbon X2 for that pull tab thing. Right off the bat, I'm gonna tell you, this upper is a miss for me. Now, I don't know if that's because it is a little bit long in the toes, and if I size down to maybe like a size 10, all of these problems would be alleviated. But the first issue here is that it's not true to size, so that's a problem in itself. But we kind of work with what we get, right? So for me, the fit is just a little bit sloppy. Because it's long, it's not really fitting around my foot so great in that forefoot area. And then the midfoot I can cinch down and can work with. I mean, I can really work with the whole thing. It's not a complete disaster, but it's just not ideal. But anyway, in that midfoot, I can get it to cinch down and kind of tighten up a little bit. However, I do get some excess material that kind of bunches up right here on this shoe. And around the ankle collar, I'm not really getting such a great fit either. It does heel slip a bit. Could be because it's a little too big. But I think with a mesh upper, that wouldn't be as bad. Under your ankle, there's really not a lot of padding, and it's kind of this harsh seam that kind of sits right under your ankle. And while it didn't give me like cuts or blisters or anything, I did feel that from time to time. So yeah, this upper really isn't for me. I didn't get any hot spots or blisters or irritation, but it just does not fit my foot correctly. And I'm kind of disappointed that they didn't stick with the upper from the Carbon X2, because I quite liked this upper and thought it was a much bigger improvement over the Carbon X1. All right, now for the midsole. Here, Hoka is using a new midsole foam. Hoka says it's designed to create optimal cushioning in a lightweight package. And of course, this is accompanied or paired with the full-length carbon plate that you can't see, but I promise it is in the shoe. And all of this sits on some rubberized EVA that really acts more as the outsole, but we'll get to that later. So I thought that the Carbon X2 did a great job of improving that midsole foam from the previous version. Previous version kind of felt dead, not so much life, not exciting. We did a better job here in the Carbon X2. And I think we did an even better job here in the Carbon X3. I'm not exactly sure what is different about this midsole composition, this material, but I would say that I do feel it is a little bit softer and perhaps a little bit more bouncy, responsive, lively, energetic, any buzzword, take your pick, all of those apply. The Carbon X line has always been a carbon plated shoe that doesn't feel super jarring. It doesn't feel like it's forcing your foot like a Next Percent or an Alpha Fly. This ride to me feels very smooth, well-tuned, and protective. This is not one of those special midsole foams on the market that you see in some of these super shoes that's gonna feel like a trampoline on the bottom of your foot. It does still have that EVA feel to it, but I think that some runners might feel a little more at home in a shoe like this. So you're gonna get that kind of standard trainer feel, but with a little bit more pizzazz from that carbon plate. And also, what I also forgot to mention is the rocker technology that kind of just curves the shoe upward and helps to roll you forward into your stride. So you have the carbon plate doing that, and also just the geometry of the shoe helping to get you up on your toes. I took the shoe out for 2 runs so far. I did a hour run on the treadmill when I first got this shoe. And I also did a 4-miler the other day where I was adding kind of some strides in there just to see what this shoe can do at faster paces. I think for the treadmill run, I was trying to go more like a steady pace for myself, like 8:40, 8:45, that kind of thing. Just something that I know I can set on cruise control and just kind of like be comfortable there. And it really did its job there. I think that the Carbon X is perfect for going long, and I think that the Carbon X3 completely upholds that theory. I think this is a great shoe for long distance running. And then when I did the strides in my 4-mile run, this shoe did great there as well. It's not my favorite shoe for picking up the pace and going fast. There are other shoes I'd probably gravitate towards, but if you're gonna sit somewhere between your really, really fast pace and your slow, comfortable pace for a race, you know, just right in the middle ground there, then I think that the Carbon X3 is gonna get you to exactly what you want to do. But I also think that rubberized EVA outsole really helps to kind of give this shoe just a little bit more bounce and excitement. So really it's a great packaged midsole all together. All the pieces work with each other instead of working against each other. And I would absolutely say that this midsole helps the Carbon X line to trend upward. We had the Carbon X1's midsole being okay, the 2 is better, and I think the 3 is better. Just gotta get those uppers fixed. The outsole of the Carbon X3 is exactly the same as the Carbon X2. Both of these shoes utilize rubberized EVA. So there is absolutely no true rubber on this shoe. That might turn some people off, might scare them off a little bit from getting this shoe, but despite that, I think that this shoe does do a pretty good job with traction. Now, I took this shoe out on the treadmill, obviously, and then on a day where it was sunny, no rain or anything, but there were a couple of puddles or damp areas, let's say, and I had no problems here with traction. I didn't feel this shoe slipping out from under me, so I think we're gonna do okay. I never did take the Carbon X2 to 50 miles, so I can't really tell you how much it holds up. If you have taken the Carbon X2 to 50 miles or above, just comment down below with how that outsole is looking right now. But I think that this is gonna do all right. I think that it's fairly durable despite not having tons and tons of rubber on the bottom. The Hoka Carbon X3 is going to be $180. It doesn't release for a while, I think maybe like April 1st. So this is a little bit early for me to be doing this review, but I got the shoe, so I figured I'd give you guys a heads up on how it's feeling for me. I think that 180 is fair. Pretty much all carbon plated shoes are like 180 to 200, some even 250 and above. So we're right in that carbon plated shoe price range. If you're interested in picking up a pair, obviously they're not available yet, but if they become available for pre-order or, you know, just when they're available, I'll put a link in the description of this video so you can click that and pick up your own pair. Just keep in mind that this will be an affiliate link with Running Warehouse, and that doesn't mean much for you. It just helps out my channel so that I can keep making these videos and giving you guys the lowdown on shoes that you can kind of sit and think about if you want to buy them for a month. As for me, I don't know. I would love to see what this shoe would feel like for me with a half size down. But as it is right now with my normal size, I'm not really digging the upper, and that kind of might be the fatal flaw for me with the Carbon X3. It just doesn't work as well as I'd want it to, which is a shame because I really do like that midsole, and I think it is an improvement over the second version of the shoe. We will see if I can get this shoe to 50 miles, but right now I have to say I'm not really digging the top half, but I'm digging the lower half. Well, everybody, that concludes my first run impressions of the Hoka Carbon X3. If you enjoyed this video, please like it down below and subscribe. And when you're done with all that, hit the notifications bell so you can find out every time I upload a new video. I also quite like this color over this color, just saying. I have another video for you next week, but in the meantime, get out there, get on the grind, and don't forget to run like Heller. See you next time. Ruby, stop. And going to the back by the heel.